All right, so these are the most expensive top luxury neighborhoods here in the city of Temecula, California. I'm going to give you the list 1 through 9. Let's go ahead and get into it. Hey guys, hey again, my name is Justin Short. I am a realtor and team leader with the Short Real Estate team here at Keller Williams in Temecula, California, in Murrieta, California. And this video is all about the most expensive and top luxury neighborhoods here in the city of Temecula. So I'm going to give you my list. I'm going to go rank them, from the most expensive to the least expensive, 1 through 9. But before I get into that, if you are liking real estate videos like this, do me a favor, please hit like, please hit subscribe. Obviously it helps me, it helps the channel. We're trying to continue to grow it. And then if you guys have any real estate questions, I would definitely love to hear from you. So you can feel free, you can call, you can text, you can email me. I have people that reach out all the time, almost every day. Happy to answer any questions you may have, point you in the right direction, or of course, if myself and my team can help you out with the search, of course, we'd love to help you do that as well. But let's go ahead and we'll get into the list here. So we're going to go 1 through 9. We're going to start. We're going to start at the most expensive neighborhood here in the city of Temecula. Number 1, the most expensive area by far is going to be the area of wine country in Temecula. So it's a little bit vague on the area. There's actually a handful of neighborhoods that make up wine country, but basically where it's at, if you look at the 15 freeway, it goes pretty north and south. You have the exit for Rancho California Road, and if you get off the freeway at Rancho California Road and you go east, right, and you keep going kind of through the city, through kind of all the suburb feel, and you kind of start, you will make your way out to wine country. So wine country, there's now over 50 wineries here in Temecula. It's a big, huge destination. People vacation here for weddings, for just wine tasting, for bachelorette parties, for all types of events. Personally, I don't even really like wine myself, but we go out to wine country a lot just for different types of venues. So for brunch, we're going to go see like a comedy club comedy show next month out there. We see concerts out there. There's nice restaurants out there, and then we'll do a little bit of wine tasting here and there as well. But it really is a big draw for people. So around those 50 wineries, which are really, really nice, a lot of them have won a ton of awards and have all types of different venues, etc. But around those wineries, there are many private homes. So typically they're anywhere from 2 to 5 acres, I would say. They are not tract homes. They're not like most of the city of Temecula. These are all custom properties, custom estates. Like I said, there's a handful of different neighborhoods that make up wine country, but most are just kind of part of the wine country area. There's a couple smaller neighborhoods, I guess, is the way to phrase that. But price point, you can buy a property out in wine country probably right around that 1.2 area is kind of a starting price point. But for the most part, really right around 2 million is what most people are going to see for a decent sized home, in a decent location, so close to town, etc. And then you'll see all the way up to 3 million, 4 million, north of $4 million for like a true prime estate out in wine country. So if you guys are looking out in that area, the location does make a big difference. So your distance to town can vary greatly. So you can be out in the hills kind of winding back, and you could easily be 25-30 minutes to the freeway. So that it's definitely less desirable. The more desirable, more expensive properties are going to be closer to town, closer to where a lot of those wineries are, and they might be 12 minutes to the freeway, maybe 15 minutes, that type of a thing. But definitely the most expensive area is the area of wine country. Number 2 on my list is Santiago Estates. Santiago Estates is a really cool area. It's the location is what makes it so desirable. So it's super, super prime location. It's right in the center of town. It's located very, very close to the 15 freeway. If you look at the freeway, the 15 freeway, it's basically located right between Temecula Parkway and Rancho California Road. And the freeway is going to run here, and it's the neighborhood's literally right here, just right there. So 2 minutes from the freeway. So super, super prime location. You're going to see properties mostly between 1 to 2 acres. Again, these are not tract homes. These are custom estates. And a lot of them have been built anywhere from the mid 90s to mid 2000s, and there is even some new construction that's still going on in there, where people have recently bought vacant lots and are building, etc. But great views, obviously good sized property. You'll see guest houses and pools and all types of cool stuff. But the location is really what's so desirable there, where it's just so close to town and so accessible to all the cool stuff that Temecula has to offer. So. Number 3, it's the other area of large properties here in town, and that's going to be the Duluth area. So Duluth is, if you look at that 15 freeway, it's west of the 15 freeway. So if you get off on that same Rancho California road, and if you go west, so like towards the hills, and you start winding up the hills, that takes you to Duluth. So Duluth it's definitely a different topography than those other areas that we had talked about. Duluth is very hilly, very mountainous, very green. It's also quite a bit cooler because literally it's up in the hills, so it's it's like a mountain, so it's just cooler at your higher elevation, right? So it's cooler, but very green. A lot of avocado trees, a lot of citrus trees, a lot of oak trees. It's very, very pretty. Again, because of just the general topography, it's not as flat and usable as those 2 other areas of Wine Country and Santiago Estates are. You may find a few flat lots, but much more hilltop properties out there. So where you're on a hill, you might have a beautiful view. You might have 5 acres, but only 1 acre is usable. That type of thing. But very, very pretty area. It's a little bit less expensive because the usability isn't quite there. But it's an area that I really like myself. Area number 4 is the neighborhood of Meadowview. So Meadowview is another one with a really, really great location. So it's really right in the center of town. If you're looking on a map, it is located right next to the Promenade Mall. So super prime location. It is older, and they are smaller lots than the other areas that we're talking about. So Meadowview tends to be relatively flat for the most part. There's some hills and rolling hills and things like that, but the lots are on average right about a half acre. So you might find something a third of an acre, you might find a quarter of an acre, but most are going to be right about a half acre. There's some a little bit larger, closer to 1 acre, but it's really one of the original areas that was established in Temecula. So because of that, a lot of the homes tend to be a little bit older, and you kind of have a hodgepodge of different properties there. So a lot of the homes were built anywhere from 1975 to 1985. I think that's before the city of Temecula was even established, right? So it's a little bit of an older area. So when you have those older homes in an older area like that, why I'm saying it's a hodgepodge is some of the homes have been completely renovated and redone over the last few years, and they are beautiful, totally move-in ready, super modern, super nice. It's a lot of ranch style, because of the year built, right? So not a ton of 2 stories, but a lot of single stories, ranch layouts, etc. But at the same time, you will find homes that were built in 1977 and they have not been touched since then, right? So it's basically almost a 50-year-old home that is retro from 1977. Nothing has changed in there, and it needs a full gut and a full update, right? So that's why I'm kind of saying it's a little bit of a hodgepodge, but the location is really, really nice. If you don't necessarily care about having 4 to 5 acres and you're okay with just a little bit of space, Meadowview can be really nice, and it's can be a great option for people to take a look at, and a little bit less expensive. Price-wise, you're more looking anywhere from probably the $1 million to the 1.6, well, maybe 1.8 range. I would say 1 to 2 million on the high end, but most are closer to that 1.4, 1.5, right around there. So definitely a little bit more affordable than the other areas that we talked about. All right, so neighborhood number 5 is Glen Oak Hills. So Glen Oak Hills is actually a part of Wine Country. Kind of how I mentioned, inside Wine Country there are several different neighborhoods. This is one of the larger neighborhoods. There is actually an HOA here, which most of Wine Country does not have, so it makes it a little bit different. But Glen Oak Hills it's a little bit further out than a lot of parts of Wine Country, but it is a very large community. It is, and it's definitely desirable. It's really well kept. There's a lot of horse trails, things like that in the community, etc. Price-wise, it tends to be a little bit less expensive than some of the really expensive stuff out in Wine Country, and it's an upper-end community that people like to be in, and it's actually a neighborhood people ask about quite a bit. So number 6 is the neighborhood of Crown Hill Reserve. So Crown Hill is a really big master plan community located in Temecula. You know, it's in my best neighborhood and best suburb videos, and we've talked about that one a lot in the last dozen or so videos. But a lot of people do not realize that in the back of Crown Hill is the Crown Hill Reserve. So the reserve section is really, really cool. It is gated. It's a collection. It can't be that many properties. I think it's like 50 properties or so, but they are larger lots. They're about a half acre, really kind of like semi-custom estates. It's definitely like a real high-end area. They actually do not pop up on the market very often just because it is such a small collection of homes. But price-wise, it's going to be they're right up there, with Glen Oaks Hills. It's anywhere from the again the mid ones to mid twos price-wise there, but definitely a really nice community. And if you can find something that's available in there, definitely something to consider. All right, so neighborhood number 7 on my list is the neighborhood of Morgan Hill. We're kind of getting more into the kind of the typical tract homes here in Temecula. So these are definitely the upper end tract homes, but more tract homes as opposed to those those custom estates that we had talked about before. But Morgan Hill is without a doubt is the most desirable tract home suburban community in Temecula. It's the top of my other list. We're talking about best neighborhoods, etc. But it is a really, really great community. It is located in South Temecula. It is zoned for the best high school in the area, and it's really a good value. So the HOA, it's $110 per month. There's a beautiful clubhouse, community pool, community spa. There's walking trails, etc. And you're going to have, from probably, they're all single family homes, but you'll have a home starting right around the $850,000 price wise, all the way north of $2 million for really a semi-custom tract home, which is it's a big lot. There's some cool features, pools, views, RV garages, stuff like that. But you have a pretty big array of different types of properties in the community there. And that takes us to number 8. So again, we're looking more tract homes. So this is the community of Summers Bend. Summers Bend, it's a really nice community. It's where I live personally, right? So I'm probably a little bit biased there, but you're gonna have kind of a collection of from condos to townhomes to small single family homes to large single family homes to full on massive half acre custom homes, or I guess semi-custom homes. So with views and all types of premium features. And there's also a 55 plus section as well. So you kind of get a wide array of different types of properties in there. But the HOA is super nice. There's a lot that's offered. Again, community pool, community spa, clubhouse, gym, walking trails, etc. It's a really good value. It's also pretty much new construction. So the homes are built anywhere from like 2021, and so they're still building new today. So, and they probably will be over the next couple years. So still an area that's continuing to grow. And number 9 on my list, and the last one on my list, is the community of Teresina. So Teresina is another newer community. It is also located in South Temecula, so it's kind of just south of the Red Hawk area if you're looking on a map. So it is definitely a really good location. It was built probably anywhere from like 2016 to 2020, 2021, right around that range. But it's a really nice area because they're newer. You're gonna have those nice open concept layouts, right? Tends to be just a little bit less than Morgan Hill, a little bit less expensive than Summers Bend, but it's definitely desirable. The topography, it's on some hillsides and things kind of below the Red Hawk area. So that's something that sometimes people aren't such huge fans of, some longer streets on hills, things like that. But they're beautiful homes, they're newer, they're open, and they definitely have the price point. We're talking about the expensive stuff in the area. So another good one to check out. So anyways, that's my list, 1 through 9, the top most expensive and really luxury neighborhoods here in Temecula. Hopefully that's some good information for you guys. If you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out. You can call, you can text, you can email, and hopefully talk to you soon. Thanks.